session. Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
Our names are wrong.
Our names are still wrong. I'm not Babatunde. Um, it's okay. I'm not Babatunde, but I am Paul Reisman, and this is Lance Maverick, and we are bringing to you day 2 of the FoW Fest 2025 GP season. We are getting ready right now to get set up for the finals here. We're going to be having Order Kaguya, and I don't remember our other deck. We're still setting up stream here a little bit. We can cheat. Can we? Paul, yes, correct. Can can we look at player decks? And we're
0.
putting
So it's Will.
0. So Will Miller versus, and I don't remember who Order Kaguya is.
Casey.
Casey Madden. Oh, it's Nathan. Okay, I'm sorry. Nathan Oni versus Casey Madden. That's going to be our first match of the day. This is top 8, and so we're kind of just getting
what
ready.
What placements are these? Is this 4 and 5?
I don't know. I don't. After Swiss, let me check that out. They might have put that on Facebook.
Yeah, I think they put out.
I'm not sure what placement would be. Oh, excuse me, y'all.
Yeah, so they said they're ready for us to go. Okay, well, we'll see.
All right. So we're gonna pan on over to the table here. We are looking at folks just reviewing deck lists, which is a really nice privilege you get. I'm really glad to see Order Kaguya here at the top tables because
it's a very interesting list. We didn't really get to see it perform when we saw it on stream today.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how this goes.
Well, the fact that I even made it this far.
Well, there's 3 of them at this event.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. A decent conversion rate. The fact that we even have Hanzo back in the first place.
I mean, it does a
kind of
lot
proves
for the deck.
This really does prove that Hanzo really did make this deck.
Yeah. Ripped from us too soon.
Yeah. Yeah,
But I think the making the X moons, because we have like Alabaster Shaman and all these other like Exorcist Mage type effects that we're able to kind of curtail that a bit, so it feels more fair. But if that Hanzo resolves, ooh, buddy, we're off.
Yeah, Muse staring at, Spirit of the Mirage Ruins,
Girls
Alabaster
staring at
Shaman,
even.
Girl staring at. Like, all these cards did not exist at the time that Hanzo got released, so it kind of makes sense. I think the best option we had to kill Hanzo at the time was Black Moonray.
Yep.
And that's
Different
it. And
times.
now we're in a different time.
Okay, so Nathan was the higher seed here, clearly choosing to go first so he can get the apple. Big matchup for 0 here, actually. There's not really many keywords that the Kaguya stuff has.
Actually, if you order that Hanzo, it will die because it gains flying.
Oh, yeah, she does give it flying.
She gives it flying. So, honestly, this is not looking great for Casey going first. So, let's see what the pivot is here, because that's the thing about Order Kaguya. You know Hanzo is your chief win condition. It's not that difficult of a concept.
Well, there's no Black Will really on the 0 side, so you do get to resolve
That's
Hanzo.
true. That's very true. You get to resolve a Hanzo and make a bunch of moons. The real question is, are we going to do that in such a way that we can then destroy all the moons and deal a bunch of damage to 0? Because that's her biggest weakness.
Immediately energizing into a Hanzo, which feels like the correct play.
This is the correct play. That Crystal Barrel is not doing well. What are we doing? We're doing the God's Art. Okay.
So we're gonna get 0's Light Lightning.
So we're gonna grab Garden, which will then grab us Familiar and ramp us a Stone. And if it's a black source, we can immediately pop the Hanzo.
Yeah. Light Vapors. Cool. All right.
Okay. We are gonna tap it immediately.
I think we have a Light Lightning.
This might be Light Lightning and just kill it. That's also a very valid play.
Ooh, Alabaster Shaman. Ooh, to stop the tokens.
Also, Shaman is really good.
Yeah. Hit the Moonshade.
All right, successfully stunned here. This means war. It looks like we have Lars in hand, a Feasting in hand, which is pretty dead right now. As Kaguya enters the Game of Gods, the promo version, so you probably will not see that one in our stream here, but this is the one that most people use because it is just prettier. So yeah. So this is the card that's in his hand, but this is the one that produces a moon and draws a card.
Or give something barrier.
Or give something barrier. The biggest thing though is it can be a back pocket win condition.
Yep. If you've just attritioned the game enough and you have enough moon tokens, you can just pop someone. Which 8 moons is not ridiculous.
It's not that hard to get.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this: you probably don't need all 8 moons.
No. 8 or less.
But if you get like 4 or 5, you're probably okay.
We hit the Darkstone. I think we just let the Hanzo sit.
Yeah, it's not doing anything right now. If you let the Hanzo die, you just reorder another one.
Right, and so we're kind of in a situation where, yeah, I mean, we just throw.
5 in the. We're gonna block. We're gonna unorder.
It's just an interesting choice because we sit here and we kind of go. I don't know. I would rather just have let the Kaguya deck just sit here with with ordered Hanzo that's not doing anything.
Yeah, but like the more you make Casey fish, the more he's not doing anything else. I think that's an Aborozuki.
That is an Aborozuki.
That is the pivot. I like that pivot. So I've played a lot of Black Order Kaguya in the past. I've really liked that because it gave me access to just so many other things, and the moons fixed my will anyway. So things like this were like really helpful.
Well, I mean, you know, in a world of moon shades.
Also, each order gets the force command keyword. Yeah, having talked with a judge, I do believe.
Well, I mean, I think every order gives a keyword.
Yeah, it gives a keyword, force. And
yeah.
So like, that's our understanding. That's my understanding.
So we're ordering an Aborozuki.
This is really helpful too, because the Aborozuki already has flying, so she can't be given flying. It's like, I'm gonna try and pop this. It doesn't have any more keywords, my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're explaining.
Yeah, that's an illegal play, so he gets the stone back. Unfortunately for Casey, but this is a really good way to get around.
That's really smart.
Yeah, that's really smart.
Yeah.
That's really, really. I love that.
So we're seeing 4.
4 is here. This is actually a pretty big threat because we haven't resolved the Aborozuki enter. It appears.
No, I think it's resolved.
Well, you're noticing there's no RFG, so he hasn't resolved the Aborozuki yet.
The Aborozuki enter. Sure. Yeah. So what? Yeah, we are letting it resolve, so we get a. Oh,
that's a light lightning, I believe.
No,
that's a Teachings of the Moon.
Yeah, Teachings of the Moon. Enters and then another Aborozuki.
Teachings of the. That's the promo of Teachings of the Moon as well. This card has been, for me, very controversial because this card is strange.
It's interesting.
It's a worse light curtain. But it is a draw spell.
In a pinch, it does make you 2 moons, though.
But right now, it is a 3 cost. So.
Well, no, you have this fun thing where you can sack a moon to pay its cost.
So it might be a keyword, but it's not a keyword ability, is my understanding. Unless I'm saying something that doesn't make any sense. I'm making a distinction.
They probably were told by the judge that it doesn't. They played it and then reversed it, so both players agreed, and that's how they're playing it. The judge didn't intervene. Force command enables Apple. Well,
all I'm going to say is, again. Oh man.
So we are sacking the moon to teaching of the moon.
So we did make a moon. Interesting.
Yeah, so sack a moon, make 2 moons.
How much time do they have left? At this point, I believe.
We don't have a timer. We'll just say 45.
I'm going to check on something real quick.
Our timer is not popping up. It is running.
I believe you, Bamba. At this point, they didn't catch it, and it was ruled. So we're gonna move on as to whether or not that is the case. I can ask after the match at this point.
That's all we can really do.
Yeah.
Neither player appealed it, so.
Yeah, this is a similar situation that we had
Yeah.
earlier yesterday. If the players agree to it and the judge agrees to it, then we just keep going.
Man, seeing this Order Kage makes me want to have Order Kage in ABC. I want it so bad.
Hear me.
We have to read what the apple does. That has a lot of text on it.
They didn't catch it.
Someone tried to cast Light Lightning against an ordered Hanzo, and then they rolled it back because they were like, "Oh, yeah."
They tried to apple it, and they said that you can't because it's not like it already has flying. Like the force command is bestowed to it, so you can't. Well, a Vorzuki already has.
So we're seeing a split Lumia come down.
Yes, the force command is the thing that allows you to do it. Yeah. So it does work like that. Should we flag it next time?
Well, I mean, like, we kind of can't interrupt it now because it's like.
Next
well,
time.
I mean, that's like next time.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
No, we got confirmation.
We got confirmation, Bomb. But if
We
they do it
just
again,
can't go
we'll
back.
we'll ring them if it happens again.
Fuck is coming down.
Some of us are running on a little bit of a deficit here.
Not me. I slept great last night.
Some of us are, and some of us are not.
I slept in. I didn't eat breakfast. I sacrificed food for sleep.
I did not.
See, I thought about going to the breakfast buffet, but I was like, do I go to the breakfast buffet or get an extra 90 minutes of sleep?
Question of the day: what sandwich?
Oh, here we go. Okay, so Kage eats like grilled cheese because the moon's made out of cheese.
Oh, don't be presumptuous. I was gonna ask about Borozuki.
Overzuki.
What is a Borozuki?
Haggis and blood sausage.
Correct.
Yeah. Organ meat and blood.
Lars, if they do it again in this match,
but that's nothing that we can do.
yeah, we again, we are not judges. We do not have a say in this scenario. We had to double check it too. And
The thing was that it happened, and then there was no appeal. So both players accepted that was what the ruling was, and
So
then they're moving forward.
I just want to confirm. I did
Yeah.
confirm this with Jeremy, and he has been talking with Charlie. So there's a non-zero chance that he mentioned it to him. And Charlie has that ability and that authority. We do not.
We're simply spectators. But we haven't been given a spectator ruler yet, so we don't have the extension rule for that.
Yeah, none of us are even level 0 judges.
Second of Moon. Pop the feat-sing, give it -6, -6.
So what he's going to do instead is he's going to unorder with feat-sing to draw a card and then let the feat-sing die. At least one of us is rogue spectators. One of us has a 6-pack, 8-pack, shouting at the match in the arena of Mott, and the other is Paul.
Oh, no.
Another Paul has appeared.
Whoa, what are we revealing the hand for?
I think he did, I think he maybe did a vacuous here.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, there's probably no other additions you are playing. The arena expansion, I don't know a lot of people who are...
That doesn't seem worth it.
High on the arena expansion.
Yeah.
So you might as well use the vacuous to just, hey, I have extra will. Let's just look at your hand.
Take a peek. Yeah.
Yeah, once again, Nathan is just reestablished.
We're in the tank about something. Yeah, Vakwas here is pretty rough.
Like we said, I think this is why... I think this is why Hanzo is in a position to come back, because there are just that many more answers.
So we're going to order out another Hanzo?
Ordering out another Hanzo. It's probably right.
When you... Is it... Enter pay X, so we pay X after resolution.
I don't know how to pronounce your username, but that's not our understanding of the vacuous.
No, vacuous has been out for a few turns. So it can, if it was untapped, it could rest. What are we arguing about here? Not necessarily argument. What are we talking about here? Alright, so we're seeing a feat-sing come down to cancel the Vakwas rest. Curse Mirror the Feith. We cry, we let sadness resolve. Unfortunately, being inflicted with sadness is untouchable.
I'm going to wait till next.
So, no Hanzo enter. Float some will. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's the best you can hope for at this point, unfortunately. In my experience, Order Kaguya had a really hard time with wide boards like this.
Right.
which is what, for me, that's what led me into more black. And at the time, I was using Magic Stone Golem as a way of saying, like, I have all these different kinds of stones.
Magic Stone Golem's good.
It's a 2020. I can order it if I need to. I will wipe your board with it. And then if it's ordered, it's a flying 2020 with precision. So I'm kind of okay. Precision and Pierce.
Is that the blue Persephone?
That is blue Percival.
Yeah.
This is really good in the sense that I can look for Mirror. Mirror is crazy in this deck because Kaguya is a green ruler, so you will not get the discount.
No. If you order a non-green Resonator,
Unless
it
you
becomes a not wind J ruler.
Correct.
If you order that Oberzuki, it is not a wind ruler.
That is correct. I'm interested in the fact that we didn't. Maybe I missed the sequencing here, but I'm surprised that if Casey had the option, he didn't order the Percival.
He wanted to call another stone. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, it's an odd choice.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have something else in his hand that he wants to order.
I think he's feeling like he's on the back foot.
Yeah.
The thing about the Percival is you can banish it and it'll unorder the Kaguya.
Very true.
So you just get another moon. So I think this is a little bit of a suboptimal play personally. It also turns on all your mirrors.
Order is once per turn though, but yeah, you just order on their turn.
Yeah.
Because we have another Hanzo in hand. Hanzo doesn't have.
Because at that point, like if you find another Feat Scene, you can unorder the Percival and then reorder the Feat Scene to cancel whatever they're trying to do, and then unorder again and draw an extra card. So I mean, there's like some tomfoolery you can do.
Are you telling me that order decks are really intricate and have a lot of subtlety to them?
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
A little bit. I learned that trick from Zeus. He's a
silly little guy.
We put Zeus in a tower under the lake in Austria at Polar School. Don't ask questions.
I didn't ask. So we're sacking the moon to make another.
So we have
making the moon draw a card.
Yeah, make a moon draw card's pretty good here. It's like, so we're at 5 moons. We can't kill Nathan with that yet.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, Order Kaguya also really suffers sometimes from card advantage. She does a lot of cycling, but she doesn't do a lot of like draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah, she doesn't really go plus on many cards.
Yeah. We're just going to swing with 4.
I mean, it seems solid.
This is going to force a banish from the Percival. Just to, at least in my estimation.
I would assume so.
You don't want her to get anchor counters.
Yeah.
Because she pretty much has everything she needs outside of a familiar.
Which, I mean, we can find a familiar.
We can easily find a familiar. We have draw power in our hand with the tank. We have board management with the flashing smile.
Yeah, that L56 tank coming down here is kind of brutal if that does get to that point.
Oh, he went face. Okay. He's like, no, it's better for me to go face here. My play style would be, let's start mounting pressure on multiple fronts.
Yeah, I'll put you either at lethal or alt-win con with 4.
And like forcing him to banish Percival when forcing Casey to make moves according to my design is probably good for a control deck.
I did like the version we saw on stream yesterday with the Moondust Revolution. I think that is a really interesting way to take that deck.
Yeah.
Because you kind of get to this point where you have an ordered Hanzo, and it doesn't matter if you're into resolves. You just float all that will.
Yeah.
You're suddenly in this board state, for example. You play the Hanzo for 1, and it's like, cool, I'm gonna float 5 will. I don't care if I get to actually resolve my Hanzo.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. The Night Watchers of Amansul. Gotcha. Yeah, it is solo mode, unfortunately. Which in this scenario, maybe we're all rethinking, like, what do you mean Order is in solo mode?
No, I think everyone understands why. It's Because there would be a lot of very gross cards that
yeah.
Order would gain access to.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here's the thing. You give solo mode back to Order, right? How big does that combo ban list get?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the problem.
Yeah. I feel like I know enough of the design team's ideas just based on like watching them over the years and how they've changed and evolved things. I think we just don't want to open that can of worms.
Mm-hmm. No, that's definitely real.
And I guarantee they've tested it behind the scenes just to make sure, and I think they're sure.
Yeah. But yes, you're correct. You can tap a lot of Casey's stones down. The Zero just has that much will
Yeah.
just to do things with. But again, if you get the Hanzo, that kind of solves your will problems.
Kind of solves your will problems. We do have
Speaking of,
third Hanzo. That Black Witch basically says you will not find a fourth. Unless you just rip it off the top.
so reading Gravestone here.
I am summoning a dog. He
Dog-
is here.
Dogwood job.
He is here. My buddy is here. He's like, I'm working, but I could come see you. Hello, my friend.
Oh, all right. Here's the colored die.
Oh.
We're gonna produce
Okay.
some will.
I'm off again.
Okay, 2 blue, 2 white, 1 green.
We're just doing all of it. Okay.
Because we're going to probably pay X into this enter.
This is kind of a huge turn for Casey.
So we're going to make 5 moons, and then I think we have the Kage enters. That's just it, really.
Well,
There's no
it's,
mirror in hand.
it's interesting that he's not. So he wouldn't be floating the will if he awakened.
It's not awakening.
Yeah, he's just making the will. So he's not trying to make more moons.
Mm-hmm.
He says,
form.
"You're not going to kill me this turn." Actually, let me look up Hanzo one more time. I actually think I'm wrong
What's the
about
question?
that. So I actually think that you pay on resolution with Hanzo.
Yes, it is enter, arrows,
Yeah.
pay X.
So he's floating the will.
Before the enter resolves. So the order
So
has
he
resolved.
could choose to make more moons.
Yes, so the order resolves. So now we're making a moon.
Okay, so we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're plugging them all in. This is the Moon Dust Revolution. I'm
Yep.
sorry, the
Yep, so we paid 6
Enter.
into it, so we get 6. And then we recover 6 stones, which we don't have, but, you know, we take those.
yeah.
Call stone with the order.
Suddenly
hit
at
a
10
knowledge
will.
Stone. No, it says X, doesn't it? Up to?
Up to
Up to X.
up
so
to
you
X.
You do not have to target 6 stones. Yeah, Hanzo is clearly intended to make more moons than recover stones.
Oh man, making a Shiva.
Vlaquis, target the Hanzo. I think we just say sure.
I think that's fine because the Hanzo's so freaking big. It doesn't even matter.
Mm-hmm. No, you can target up to X. So you pay X, then you can target up to X. You can pay however much X you want, regardless of how many stones you have.
Play Trishula.
Trishula?
Now I have Eternal. Yeah, we're just. Oh my goodness, the fact that he was able to resolve this one Hanzo just put him back in the game. That's so
I mean,
crazy.
that's all the deck really needs
That's
to do.
the deck. That's the deck.
Gotta respect the man who has all of the moon tokens he needs.
So I'm not sure how the 4 died, but we're not seeing counters being distributed. There we go. Okay. Okay. So they are calculating it. They just didn't have it on stream for us. So we're getting +4/+4. That Percival could just straight up kill Volumia.
Yeah.
This little tutu has become massive.
6/6. It's a respectable body. I mean, Casey's sitting pretty good here. He's got a mirror in hand for a little bit of protection. I don't know what his other card is. Is that a Black Witch?
It's a Black Witch, yeah.
Oh,
So if he finds a way to kill this Hanzo, he won't. Actually, he can target because it has Eternal now, so never mind. It's like the apple takes away Eternal. Casey does not know this, apparently. Yeah. Oh, Eternal and Barrier? Oh, yeah, Eternal and Barrier. If he pops this Hanzo, it's kind of...
Oh, we hit the mirror to protect it. Yeah.
To stop the activate ability for the turn.
Yep. I'll do it again. So we're seeing the Regalia side come down.
That mirror should not be in the graveyard. It should be expelled. But
yeah,
we're nearing the end here.
We're not seeing recursion or graveyard interaction from either of these players, so. Oh, camera focus. Still in game one.
This is a real strong back and forth. We are GSTing.
Oh, yeah. No. So we're going to mobilize the tank.
Yeah, and GST will not prevent it from being a Resonator. We just have a bigger body now. This is kind of why I was thinking, I think it's interesting that the Percival was going into face instead of getting rid of the Lumia, because now this option does exist. The Hanzo dies. Trishula is turned off, unfortunately.
Well, it wasn't doing anything anyway.
And I think it gives Eternal and Pierce. Am I wrong?
Sure. I mean, yeah, if Casey draws, Kaguya enters here, we're just done. Orders a Black Witch.
Black Witch is here. I think we're at 4 stones.
No seal. Although, are we playing any witches in the side?
This gets us another moon.
I just wish I knew what that last card was.
Yeah, I think this is what Casey has top decked.
Yes, because
you
his,
can tell
his his previous hand was Girl Staring At and Curse Mirror.
His body language is very much a... crap, I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with one Hanzo pop. I mean, if everything depends on Hanzo, if Hanzo's gone, you're probably going to win. So the apple just takes away all of that advantage. Even more so, because now we know the correct ruling, that Force Command does allow you to pop
Right.
of apple. So yeah, this was always going to be a rough matchup, but very swingy, so swingy. Cool, you get to make a moon.
Dumb moon.
Oh, he is at seal. Nope, nope, nope,
Can't
nope.
search themselves.
Casey doesn't know this ruling.
Yeah.
Okay. So Casey must be coming in without some current metagame knowledge. So it says a couple of things. Speaks to the power of Order Kaguya in this metagame, but also,
I guarantee you this line doesn't come up very often.
yeah. So I think we're doing this before draw? Yeah, we are doing this before draw. So we're recovering error
lot.
thing. I'll say here, if we top decked an enter, it's over. We locked down the Shiva, it looks like, with
Tank or Gravestone.
with Gravestone,
Which, fine.
and the Knowledge Stone is tapped down.
Again, all this seems fine. Oh, there it is.
Oh, we do have it.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, look, Kaguya Stone.
Gotta bolt yourself.
He's choosing not to, which is probably correct.
3,
9, 12. That is certainly enough damage with the enter. And we did see it in hand, so he just has to see, is it worth doing? The
No,
thing,
I think you have to.
yeah, I think you just have to say, like
Have it or go
have
game 2.
mirror or don't.
Yeah.
And
Force you to have
he
it.
has one stone available, so he is telegraphing that, I might have a mirror, But I think if you're Casey, you just have to kind of slap it and hope it is.
Well, so it's mirror or lunar protective life form.
Another lunar protective life form,
Yeah.
yes.
Which neither are in hand.
We're going to try to,
Play it safe here, I
yeah,
guess.
figure out, hey, do we have...
Let's probe a little bit.
Do I have anything in response?
This game gets many new sets. We had a new set come out last week.
Yeah, we are at the end of cluster number 10, which is
And-
Trinity Cluster, and we are going into the Evil Cluster.
The Devil Asterisk Cluster. Every time we say Devil Cluster, Alejandro corrects it, Devil Asterisk.
But he's not here, so it's
I
fine.
have to do it for him.
You do?
Yes.
Does he employ you?
Kinda.
Yeah,
10.
yeah. This has been 10 clusters. 10 full clusters. More than 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
but 10 full clusters.
Flashing in a Black Witch.
That's, yeah. Okay, so we saw one of the cards in hand.
I mean, this is really smart play from Casey. He's just like, ooh, no,
Hey, let's just-
I'm
yeah.
trying to dig for things, man. I'm drawing cards.
Let's just get...
I don't have it. What is this?
Oh, this is the anti-burn witch, isn't it? Hold on.
I don't know the Thoth Witches.
This is one of the witches of the laboratory. Glowing crystals. Prevent all non-battle damage.
Ugh. Dealt 2 players by sources they don't control, or that would be dealt to this card.
Yeah, honestly, Glory Van, we should probably broaden this definition. It's been 10 cluster sets so far.
So like sets of 4 plus
yeah.
in a design space.
All of the clusters, with the exception of 2, have had 4 boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Dual Cluster had 3. Hero had 6. We've had 2 Masterpiece collections,
And
3
ABC
Vingolfs, 2 waves of ABC decks.
It's the one wave. Because the previous
Publicly released.
Yeah. So flashed in. Prevents battle damage. Or non-battle damage.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
over. It's over.
That is unfortunate for Casey.
Jeremy wants to be commentating. Say hi, everybody.
You can talk.
No.
Actively talks.
No. I don't
Says no. Word. Talking.
A word?
Got him.
I'm honestly shocked that we're.
So, gift of Audi. Believe it or not, we have an
Shouldn't all the moons be
online.
destroyed?
It's banished at resolution.
We do have
You
an
can choose not to?
an
Okay.
online locals.
Yeah,
so if you're
okay, so
somebody
we
who
are
doesn't
skipping
have
going
a
to game two.
locals, the OGS.
OLS.
OLS. Sorry.
Online League Series.
OGS is something different. The online series is something that Cal Tuma, who is actually judging at the stream table right now, he is. Who won? Nathan won.
Nathan won. So Casey was like pretty much had to resolve that Kage enters the Game of Gods to do anything, and because it was answered, we just scooped to go to game 2.
Yeah, there's a Discord link. If you are not a member of the Ruler School Discord, I would highly recommend you jump in there. We can get you a link to the OLS and any of the other Force of Will helpful things that maybe you can jump back in the game. That is with a webcam. Our community is
Or
very, very, very
Tabletop
good.
Simulator.
Or we have Tabletop Simulator as well, thanks to Patrick Ogrins.
Also a judge.
Also a judge. Yeah, I would jump in. The link for the Discord is in the description of this video. So if you want to get plugged back into the community or just check it out, that's the best way to do it.
Is this a lore matchup?
It is other mom versus daughter. The best way also to get cards. I don't know if you
So,
expected this.
Just Cal responded. We let him know in between games that Force Command is a bestowed ability, so Apple can hit it. Cal said both of them didn't ask about it, so that was why they let it go.
Okay.
So the players did not ask about it, and Cal will not clarify something like that.
Right.
If both players accept the board state and it's not an illegal game action, so technically no action was taken, so Cal can't really interject.
Yeah.
That's why we always say it's both players' responsibility to play the game correctly.
Yep.
It's not the judges.
Yeah. Other mom versus not my, but definitely is my daughter.
It's a shame Feetsing's not as much as a powerhouse as Zero, because then we could have marital spats.
When Feetsing is upset with Kaguya, she says, "Just wait till your mother gets home." That's Zero.
Yeah. That's it. You're making Zero darkness.
From the Netherlands. Okay, so I do know of a store. There's actually a couple of stores in the links. They are. Hold on, I'm making a flag down. I will answer your question in just a second. Nathan. So in our description of the stream, we have TCG Prime, who sells singles, and he does this all over the world. He has one of the largest collections alongside Games and Geek out of Minnesota.
Logan conceded to Joe. Jeremy Logan just won. And Bolshizer and other Joe at game 3.
Okay.
And if you want to order product, the best way to do that is through Odyssey Games, also a link in our description. These are, frankly, the best places to get Force of Will product. But we do have an update on some of the results of our other matches, so I'll let Lance take that.
So Logan has conceded his match, so he just already has an invite, so he's good. Stephen Holshizer and the other Joe are going to are in game 3 currently, and then I forgot what the other one was.
I think that so Steven is still playing. Nathan won the match, or won game 1, excuse me. Oh, Jeremy Lindley won. So yeah, if my Jeremy comes more in this direction, we'll know. But we can double check on that. Game Trade, Cardo Doko, those are also really good for European-based. Although I think Cardo Doko's out of Singapore, right?
I don't know actually.
Where's Cardo Doko from?
Hey, what is
It's
that
good to have you.
colorless thing from South of the Trinity? Cube? Is it
Oh, it's
artifact?
Remains of the Ruin. Remains of the Ruins.
Uh-oh.
Ruin? Yeah, Remnants of the Ruin all the way at the bottom.
Remnants. Search your deck for a witch. Wow, a lot of witch searching. I guess
Gift,
that makes sense.
It is good to have you. I hope you enjoy this. I mean, this is some of the format right now. We had 88 players. We're looking at 48 different decks. There's probably more out there.
The most represented decks today were both 7 out of 88.
Yeah. 2 of which were Prisia and converted.
Mm-hmm. And 0.
And only 1 converted. We're looking at a top 8 of 7 different decks.
Totally
7 very different strategies.
So we see Array, Asnable, Remnants of the Ruins.
Shaman.
Wow, we just went no. We sideboarded into no.
The packs do not contain QR codes anymore, unfortunately. That's something they had to discontinue. However, they are developing new products all of the time.
Attack order.
ABC decks, which is our version of Commander, but then we also have the new Paradox format. It's kind of like an expanded New Frontiers, and it encompasses Hero, our current cluster, and will also include the Devil cluster and the latest Masterpiece collection.
Notably, Casey chose to go first, which is interesting for an order deck. I think the idea is that the sub-ruler not being there is more important.
It is absolutely more important.
But we see the sparkling apple come down anyway, that crisp, hard apple cider.
And he does have Garden in hand.
Yes.
And so the thing about Zero is really interesting is she can go second and
she does fine. Yeah.
Still kind of does fine, kind of.
It takes a little bit longer, but you get there. So we're seeing an ordered Hanzo come down. Energize, Light Lightning, Alabaster.
Big nerves. So you don't have the will to interact with me anymore. And next turn, I'll put down Garden. I'll flip Apple. And in the sequence, I'll make it so that Apple flips first, and then I'll get my familiar, so I can ramp a stone.
Right.
So Nathan's about to pull ahead here.
Rough. It's a great time to get into the game. You can take pretty much anything and do pretty well with it. So we're flashing in another Percival here.
It's a good time to collect as well. We just saw a bunch of new cards from Lapis Cluster, kind of expanding that story. And we're learning there's 2 timelines. There's a lot of lore on the official fowtcg.com website. So it's a good time to be collecting and be a fan of the game. We're grabbing TCGs of the Moon off the top with Percival. We did not see this come into play.
No. I mean, we saw Sack-a-Moon make 2 moons, but under Shaman, that's not really doing much.
Yeah, that's the 3rd cluster.
So that's,
got brand new support in Masterpiece 02 Fates Reunited.
So that was Curse of the Frozen Casket, Legacy Lost, Return of the Dragon Emperor, and Echoes of a New World. How do I remember these things? It's just weird that I remember stuff from that far along. Like,
hey.
Yeah.
Hey. We contain multitudes, my guy.
No, I struggle to rub 2 brain cells together.
Somehow you managed to rub the 4 together that remembered those specific boxes.
Those synapses are just dead.
This is not how neurology works. You can't remember and then have dead. Okay.
Listen, I just do a little bit of
See,
necromancy.
I know why you remembered. It's because you went to Polar School.
Oh, true.
It revives dead memories. Yeah, Casey's in the same position he was last time.
I mean, this Alabaster Shaman does a lot of heavy lifting here.
Oh, he can't play the Garden because he has Shaman.
Yes.
So his familiar will not resolve.
Yes. Which I think is fine.
That's interesting.
Like, the Shaman's doing way more against Casey than it is for Nathan. Just swinging. I mean, Hanzo's a 4/4.
In this scenario, I don't know if I agree. Because you want to get the apple on as much, as fast as possible.
So,
because you just win with that.
I do agree with that, but it's also, you are making no moons.
This is true.
What does the Kaguya deck do if it has 0 moons? And the cards that make moons don't make moons.
It plays Ultra Magic Stone Golem and destroys the...
Clearly, we haven't seen that.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. I realized I made a critical error.
Valhalla is not legal in any, like, contemporary format.
Yeah, in Wander and in Paradox, the original Valhalla cluster is
People
not
consider
legal.
Valhalla like beta. So it's like it's not. It's its own separate thing.
It's like Season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Cluster 0.
Mm-hmm.
So we got it. Yeah.
We had a like shield, like Vanguard style shields. Life break.
Life
Ooh.
break.
Ray Aznable comes down.
This is devastating.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much closed up. We said, you know what, we're going 0 prison time.
That being said, I think you could
Like
easily.
Mirror Featsing does nothing. We have Attack Order, doesn't hit it because it has Barrier, and we have I don't know what that last card is. Well, the teachings. He has 2 teachings of the moons, and I don't know what that 4th card is.
Hanzo,
Yeah,
Attack Order,
this
Mirror.
Is a bricked hand.
Yeah, the benefit of Masterpieces is that they reprint old cards with set codes, so you can use them in Paradox when they're legal. But it also gets new players into the game who did not get access to those older cards, and the designers can design around those cards that they choose. So there's a lot of benefits to this.
If you were interested in starting a fresh new collection, getting Masterpiece 1 is a fantastic way to start because it just gives you staples for everything.
Tons of stuff.
Not so much for Paradox because it's not legal in Paradox, but
yeah, they made a lot of really good reprints.
Glorite, Dark Alice, Ray,
Institute,
yeah.
Speaking of Black Order Kaguya.
Mm-hmm. So Greystone's also almost on. And we have the Witch to prevent non-battle damage.
We are at a point now where we could just flip 0.
Yeah, just start beats.
Just flip 0 and then have a mana left open to pop with Apple.
We're just not seeing anything.
Yeah, Masterpiece 1 will set you off really well.
The only unfortunate thing is that the staple reprints aren't shiny. It bothers me. I want full art Lorites with the new card frame.
Yeah, the turn that you... So just to be clear, the turn that Nathan would Judgment 0 and get his Apple, he would not be able to call Stone because you cannot Judgment and then call Stone. You can call Stone and then do Judgment.
Let's go Teachings of the Moon. Or no, War it shall be.
So even if Casey blows up that 0 with his attack order, you still won't be able to call a Stone. Just FYI. It's a little bit of a tempo thing, but you pull ahead in momentum. So I think it's totally fine.
Persephone?
Yeah, Persephone, also another one of my black cards of choice that you could get off of, because it is a Tails.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's times where pay 3, make a Ray is
Sometimes it just gets you there.
insane.
You kind of have to internalize what you're playing against and just, oh, this deck doesn't do anything outside of enter effects.
Is there a world where Casey plays a couple copies of Gales of the Moon to just have hard cancel magic for 2? Because Gale of the Moon, it puts a Wind Edition into the field, so it generates you stuff, but also it says, well, you don't get stuff anymore.
No, I don't think so.
That's probably one of Zero's biggest weaknesses, which is why some of her new stuff has Untouchable, because otherwise it just wouldn't resolve.
Is the CAG on ZLL? Maybe. We haven't seen it, so I assume no.
Oh, Light Lightning, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, both Ray and Alabaster are both kind of doing the same thing here.
I think you pop the Ray because you have Persephone in hand, so you can just play it and then pop the Shaman with the Persephone and draw an extra card.
Yes.
Like, that would be
You have to answer the Ray with something first, though.
Yeah. That's the thing about teaching the Moon here. It's I almost wish it was Flashing Smile instead.
Yeah.
Because it's a very slow card.
But, I mean, we're holding 7 cards in hand right now, so.
Yeah. There's also an argument for Dark Alice. I know one of
we did see Girls Staring At. That is very true. But I don't think he's actually drawn into it yet. I mean,
keep swinging. I just get free damage.
I mean, Shiva is a thing.
If you pay 3 for it, yeah.
Yeah, don't Solarize it.
And then just swing into the Alabaster,
Yeah.
force him to... Well, he's not going to do that this turn because that's going to make it really awkward. I'm going to attack order my own Hanzo.
That's certainly a choice. Give it barrier.
I think we're on Nathan's turn.
Yeah. So we're going to mirror my own attack order. Sure, that resolves. Expel the mirror.
There you go. Okay. Is that an Odin?
Do you think a Replicant Odin's the out here?
I personally really respect Replicant Odin in Zero as like a secondary win condition.
We don't really have much for the RFG, though.
This is true. You can play that light curtain, though.
So we are casting the Shiva at full cost here.
This is a little suboptimal.
A little bit.
You should have ordered. I'm sorry. You
But
should.
He was trying to kill his Hanzo to order the Shiva.
So I think you play the Shiva, you threaten the Shaman, forcing the Ray to block, or just let the Shaman die. And if you do that, everything gets buffed. So then it's like, so I either have a bigger board and can make moons again, or
well, we still need to find a GST though.
You sacrifice the Ray. I think that was the optimal play. Okay, not performing judgment this turn, but we do. Oh, sorry, it's a Looter Protective Life Form. That's what it is. It's not an Odin. He's also not playing Solaria's Light.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't really have much to do with the RFG zone. don't like.
And
I don't
yeah,
like playing Light of Solaria, honestly.
I think it's cracked. Just ask Minha.
The man has the devil's own luck. I don't trust him. He says.
I trusted that man with Misung, and I said I'll trust him again with 0. Why
Yeah,
not?
but you can't take that deck and perform as well as Minha does, because that man has.
Because I'm not Minha.
Yeah,
admittedly.
exactly.
Seemed to work just fine for me against Fox. And admittedly, we do have a lot of graveyard strategies right now. You have to admit.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, with all these sinking noises,
Yeah,
I will
there's
say
a lot of tanking going on.
the Force of Will Dog, Mufasa, who is definitely at work, scratched himself so good that he smiled.
Just belligerence,
Yeah.
precision into the Alabaster Shaman seems good.
I just got word from Cal that Nathan has a 4C formal warning for overlooking mandatory triggers.
What was the mandatory trigger?
It might have been, it was Gravestone, because he has 5 Magic Zone types.
Oh, sure.
And so he missed that trigger. We're going to draw with the mirror.
No shenanigans for you. I'm going to draw. Yep.
All right, we're going to use the God's Art of the Regalia side to pop Shiva.
Yep, because it doesn't have Eternal, so it has less keywords.
That is another witch I did not think we were going to see. This is Witch of the Tower number 13.
Oh, yeah, can't banish as a cost.
So now you don't have moons to banish for the Wall of Wind effect,
Yep.
so that's relevant. It's just another layer.
Yep, just another piece of the prison. We love Death and Taxes.
Yeah, this is Death and Taxes now. Feel old yet?
Yeah.
Remember when we were using the 3-drop Ancient to prevent attacks for more than one
Heck yeah.
for more than one creature? That was nuts.
I loved Death and Taxes during Lapis
Oh,
New Frontiers. It was
gosh.
so much fun. They didn't give me Arc Holy Grail until that was out of New Frontiers. If I had that, ooh.
Oofta. Oofta.
0 prison every day.
We're going to stack. We lost a mirror. Yeah, 0 Death and Taxes is very real still.
Yes, we do have Richard Import now. Base Legacy D&T Enjoyer. Oof.
Just even more stacks.
Even more. You can't search your deck now.
Even more stacks. Oh, gosh. You know, that's a good reason for the multiple gardens. You can see extras, and then if you if they're on the bottom of the deck, they can just be gone. So, I don't hate it.
So Revikland Shiva lost Eternal from the Apple.
The Regalia side, God's Art,
Yeah.
removed Eternal and killed it.
To just play a garden here and just say Rip the bird. That's what I mean. Like, do we just play the garden and say no?
Oh, rip the bird. You mean
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck the bird.
Yeah. Fail to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah, you probably don't need the bird. It's probably not that big of a deal.
Just find it naturally.
White sparkling apple has a different front side than the back side.
Mm-hmm.
And so now the back side is considered a different card. The gods are on the front side is once per game.
Yeah.
It's a different name. It's a different ability. Now it's flipped over, and now we get the once per turn ability. So that gods are essentially upgraded.
Right. We've really sat here with the same hand for this entire game on Casey's side.
It just goes to show.
Ooh, another Percival.
He doesn't need to anymore because he has the sub ruler.
Mm-hmm. Sub-ruler does a lot. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, the sub ruler is cracked.
Oberzuki comes down. No enter. So
This Ray is just
hard cast a Hanzo.
hard cast Hanzo for bodies. We're gonna. Ooh, that's one of the light lightnings is gone, but now the witch
No,
has Eternal.
It's an 06 Eternal.
So you really cannot banish things anymore.
Featsing still is in hand for a ripe pay 0 to not counter something.
This is why I asked for the 0 mat for the Zero's Garden for my staff mat. Because
Yakami.
Oof.
I like kimonos.
I feel it though. I feel it. This is the first Masterpiece 2 ruler that I sat down with because we were playing it at locals already. Without Garden, without 4, without Light Lightning, and it was just
They're like, oh, you know that deck
ripping
that you really
through.
love? Let's give it like 6 new cards.
Here's 3, actually 4, really, really powerful cards. But also, like, how can you not want that?
I know.
Look at that.
The bird is so cute.
They're so eepy because they're
Didn't
like.
see one post in the Discord. Do we have a deck breakdown for top 16/top 8? We have top 8. I don't believe we have one for 16.
We can certainly post that on our Facebook page and in the global group.
I think Pollard School is going to be doing a tournament report.
Pollard School is hired by Ruler School to do a tournament report. The top 8 is on the global Discord. Yeah, we have top 8 lists. I'm going to try and formalize those a little bit more if I can.
Hey, by the way, here's another prison piece. Have fun.
No enters,
And,
no
we're at
cheat-ins,
seal.
no searches,
Can't seal, though.
no banishes.
It just gets removed. It just gets removed. It just gets removed. It just gets removed.
It's over.
Sure,
He conceded. I mean, he can't do that.
I don't think it matters, but yeah.
I mean, it certainly can. Like, Casey can just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, does he scoop it up? They're revealing hands. They're scooped up. So Nathan,
they've already scooped. Yeah.
Nathan has won his top 8 match, and he's
He
going
gets
into the
an
semi. He gets an invite. He's going into the semifinals here.
Doesn't matter. Already got the invite. Woo! Man, we had a lunar protection life form as well. We were extra protected. Man, the zero list is just so fun. You get to pivot into so many different ways to play.
Kaguya, this is why I am mother.
Mother.
And you are daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I never would have done that with the time magic. I would have thought through my actions.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, we'll go back over to us.
So, Order Kaguya has legs.
I think it could get there with a better matchup.
Better matchup.
Mm-hmm. Zero's
Maybe
particularly rough.
maybe some more optimized card selections. My guess is that Casey was coming back to the game in
It's
some
very possible.
and it was just like, let's just see how this does
Yeah.
to some degree. Or I had practice on this deck, so I might as well just play it again. It's legal again.
Mm-hmm.
But they're definitely like Teachings of the Moon, probably Flashing Smiles instead, or some other form of removal.
I think Flashing Smile is a big thing. Interdimensional escape?
No. Just because it has Kaguya on the card doesn't mean you can use the card.
What do you mean? It exiles.
You know what? I forgot. It's free if the card art matches the ruler.
Yeah, it's a flavor win.
Yeah. Nothing on the text of the card.
All right. Well,
not a real rule.
We'll go ahead and get over here, get set up for round. I don't know what we're having on next.
Semifinals. We'll see what we have next. It looks like other folks are finishing up, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll see you in the semifinals.
Boo-boo. right, so we are just looking over deck lists right now. I have them on the wrong side. Okay. We thought we had it all figured out. Okay, so we are just looking over a deck list now. We have Jeremy Lindley on Mars and Mercurius. Obviously doing the Lumineers thing. We're going to be trying to doing some Uranus loops. We're going to do a lot of burn damage. And then Holsheiser is over here on Solo Gill, so utilizing the XR, not the Ashwin version. So doing a lot of milling. I feel like this matchup is kind of decided in the first early turns. If Steven is able to survive those first few turns and stabilize, he kind of has a really good opportunity to try to get over on Jeremy. But we'll see how this plays out. Game 1 is kind of interesting. I believe Steven is coming in at a higher seed, so he gets the choice. I think we take the coin as a guild player, so we don't get coin TK'd. I'll pull up Uranus here.
This thing is
This is what makes the deck sing.
So I had a moment the other day where I was looking at this card and recognizing that the first race is historical.
Yeah. So you can play it in Alhamut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you could if you really wanted to.
Forgotten Tomes, Alhamut.
Taboo.
I will say I was looking at it and realized Scant Visions could hunt for it.
Yep.
Off the top, so that was cute.
That's an ancient magic, isn't it?
No, it's historical. Which means it can find itself.
Right.
And yeah, Pluto and Neptune are also historicals. So you can just, I was like, oh, that's a cool little, neat little thing. Probably don't need it, but it's cute. And Steven's been doing really well with Solo Gill all week.
I know, he's playing red. It's weird. Known red hater.
But here we are.
Yeah, he's like, no, it's mostly white, black. No. Which, I mean, true, but also.
If you can't see the gill, it's because it's one of the metal ones.
Yeah. What is this Uber that we're considering holding on to?
There's a couple of Ubers, I think. It could be one of the Oaths.
Lunar Protection.
Lunar Protective Life
Lunar
Form.
Protective Life Form does not seem bad at all, just to gain 15.
Bye,
Dad.
Good luck in the Paradox, Dad.
I say that like I'm also not a 30-year-old man.
He's old enough to be your dad.
Oh, no. I'm old enough to make him one. It's the ultimate comeback. Listen, you go hit on the cougar at the bar. She says, "I'm old enough to be your mom." He's like, "Damn right, I'm old enough to make you one."
What? Oh my God.
So anyway, Force Will.
So we're seeing Mars and Merc go first.
Yes, that is the correct choice. You do not want to be coin-TK'd.
Oh my God! You have Yeoman Guard, Fates
So
Reunited.
we're thinking about God's Art and the Fates Reunited for sure.
Yeah, I think Fates Reunited in this.
Yes, this is very much a lore-like fight.
Well, what kind? I mean, they serve at the behest of Gil Lapis, so I'm not really.
Didn't he kill them all?
I don't know if he killed them all. Did he kill them all?
I think he killed them all.
Did he kill them all? Chat, did he kill them all?
I think he betrayed all of them.
Well, they betrayed Lorite, so it's kind of a poetic end.
Ooh.
Thoth and Uranus. Honestly, that's kind of helping.
Yeah.
Kind of
So
helping Jeremy.
No, we just uppercut the Uranus.
Or you can also do that.
Yeah, no, this is detrimental.
Get rid of a Yomad Guard. Yeah, you don't need it.
Yeah.
Then we're going to mirror that.
Do we have a second one? Because, I mean, I feel like if you resolve this uppercut,
You're definitely
you just
by
kind of win.
so far ahead.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll believe you. I'm not a lore expert yet.
Oh, God, what's that?
Last movement.
Last movement. What are we returning? Oh, my, he did have...
Second uppercut.
This is 100% the correct play.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's expelling this to play mirror for free.
Yeah.
Okay. Cast it?
That's not quick cast. The XR reduces the cost. So it costs fire less. Also, I apologize. Our timer is not working, so. Okay, so we get the Thoth.
He's quick. It has natural quick cast. I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't Steven get to look through the deck? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because they have the open deck list in front of them, but technically Steven gets to look through it. It becomes relevant in game 2, post sideboard. So invitation. What's the blue card there?
Invitation. I want to roll it back like 10 seconds. We'll probably see it here again.
It was the search for a blue and water or a blue and red.
Oh,
card.
Metal Helix.
Metal Helix, and then there was a mono blue card. I think it might be a Mercurius spell.
Yeah. Chat will tell us.
Chat, is this real?
I believe that's true.
Yeah, they're kind of just competing for paid invites currently. Holsheiser has his invite from getting top 8 at Worlds last year. Yeah, pretty much everyone in top 8 has an invite now. Fates Reunited. Just remind Cal that. Two uppercuts have been played so on turn 1. That's correct.
Yeah, so Steven went down to 2 cards.
You have to. It's resolving uppercuts is so huge.
Yeah. It's like we're going to fight for this. Have a mirror or don't. And if you don't, your steam is significantly dwindled.
Mm-hmm. So what, Lunar Protection? And some other Uber. The Ubers are so nice, but they're so hard to see on stream.
See, this is how I feel in Yu-Gi-Oh! When I resolve like Ash Blossoms and Maxis for free.
Thoth wasn't named. Well, I don't know if Thoth was named. Thoth got uppercutted. So I've asked the table judge what was named with Fates, and he has not responded yet. Man, remember when everyone was like, Fates Reunited, I mean, it's a good sideboard card.
It's still true.
Yeah,
still a good
it's
sideboard
everyone's
card.
just like, just main it.
There are some reasons to main it in certain matchups, but you probably don't main more than 2.
2, yeah. I think that's the
And
right.
you side the rest. We taking damage? We are, in fact, taking damage. We're not at 25.
Mecha Blade Dragon and Neptune were what was named with Fates Reunited.
Interesting.
So let's pull up Neptune. Neptune is the other blue card.
Yeah. So Neptune will not get these named abilities.
So the Lost Luminaries.
Mm-hmm.
Is Reunited considered? No.
No. It's just Force Command.
Yeah. No, it's if your ruler is this, but keywordified.
Yeah. Yeah. Functionally the same, but Force Command can be bestowed to other things as we've learned. So we're swinging in a second time here.
Oh, yeah, that's what it do.
Yeah. The uppercut naming, so Steven cast the first uppercut, naming.
We're trying to target Uranus.
They were, so Steven's goal was to get rid of Uranus.
And then the second one got answered, and then he cast Uranus, so then he went for Thoth.
That is the
Deceased.
deceased entity, and deceased inhabitant of the Light Palace. So yeah, the first uppercut tried to get rid of the was intended for the Uranus, but you don't target until resolution.
Mm-hmm.
And so then there was a fight over that uppercut, and then Steven tried to resolve a second one, trying to do the same thing.
Yeah. But then when the Uranus just got cast in response.
And then we cast Uranus for 1 mana in response.
Actually, it was 1 mana and 1 will.
Is that a magic stone?
Yeah,
That is a magic stone.
That is a mana counter.
Okay, so he went for it. Okay, so
Yeah,
he had 1 magic stone. So
yeah. You can only reduce it by 1.
Yeah.
Uber Uranus.
Uber. Metal Helix in this deck is nuts. I actually think this card is
That's really good.
to the point now where it has enough combination pieces that this card is actually staple. Second, Metal Helix. Burn the board, draw 2
Well,
cards.
it's just like a better Rune of Soul.
Especially because it removes your luminaries.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what Jeremy's gonna remove. We're probably not gonna do. We might do another Uranus here.
Yep.
Yeah, another Uranus. And another Neptune. And a Neptune.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're gonna burn the board for 5 and draw 1 card.
Yep.
That's a lot of gas. Oh, you mean the cancel witch? Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. Yeah, we might want to pull that up. That's
I don't know her name.
I don't either. It should be. Keep going.
There's too many witches. Just pull it up on Force.
Yeah, we're gonna do it here real quick. We know which one you're talking about. It is right here, actually, because it's. I think it's staple in Wander. Ghosts of the Witches of the Tower. Yeah, this card is actually solid. It is a 2 mana cancel effectively.
Is it? It's 3.
When you pay it specified cost rather than its full cost when it's RFG'd.
Okay.
And because it's a specified cost, it doesn't get hit by Shaman, Mirage Spirit, or Muse.
How's it making it a 2-drop?
Specified cost refers to the pips in the card cost.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. There's no world in which Metal Helix will ever draw you 3 cards.
No.
But I bet I hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You would draw 2, set up cancels.
Yeah, you could do draw 2, deal 1,000.
Deal 10, yeah.
for 2 will is pretty good, I heard.
Another swing in with Uranus. We have Raging Messiah, Invitation.
It's interesting that he's calling stones with
Neptune.
Mars.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty comfortable because Mars does not have swiftness unless you get rid of Namplot.
But
specifically.
It's for the extra mana counters, though,
Yeah.
because he's mana 5. And he produces red for Invitation.
It seems like the main plan is to be aggressive here.
Mm-hmm. I heard dealing 4K with 1 spell is aggressive.
I mean, that's pretty aggressive, yeah.
Casting a Pluto.
Neptune.
Yes, you're correct. So many planets.
Pluto's a real planet.
It's a
Fight me.
celestial body.
I will say, though, as the dean of Pollard School, at Pollard School we teach that Pluto is a planet.
Mm.
So
You're so brave for that.
I am. I disagree with science on this one. I agree with most everything else. But Pluto is, in fact, a planet.
Honorary planet.
In our hearts, maybe. Not in reality, but... Raging Messiah is here.
Classic.
So we are now doubling damage from a source.
Invitation to Disaster coming down.
Just to deal 60?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's certainly a thing.
Turns out you don't actually have to awaken that.
You don't.
If you don't need to, you don't need to.
I mean, putting Steven at 300 life is rough. I don't think he plays any non-Gil Shock Rocks, so... Ooh, unfortunate.
Yeah, Steven effectively called stone only to have effectively no stone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shaman's a little awkward here. Oh, interesting, interesting. Lunar Throne of the Light Palace coming down. Able to kill the Uranus and buy something back. Certainly not bad. Not a bad start.
You can also drain him for 8.
Drain him for 8.
I don't think we buy back. I think we drain and pop Uranus.
Yeah, we don't make tokens. We definitely drain for life. There we go.
So there's a Lunar Protection life form in the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of awkward when you only have 1 card in hand.
It's kind of insanely critical right now for Steven. He's like, I just need a little bit more.
So
we
off
are
a Gravestone, tap down the Tri-Stone.
Yep, and we're gonna target my own Fates Reunited.
Sure.
Because I mean, if this gets tabbed, who cares?
Ooh, the Rachel smile in hand is very funny.
Yeah, he was telling me. Jeremy was telling me about this. People were like, "You're doing what?"
Yeah.
Rest all what? For
yeah.
how long?
In my recovery, I'm going to rest all your stones. Okay, go to my main phase.
Yeah.
So we see the Mercurius come down.
Mercurius is coming down. We're going to get 5. This is a really good spell for the Rachel Smile. Go on Steven's turn. Yeah, people did not play this back in the day. Rachel,
It just
smile.
wasn't good.
It
Back in the day, it was not good.
you couldn't kill as decisively back
Right.
then.
Well, you couldn't play tag, so it's like the Mercurius package was like, ugh, and then you weren't
Yeah.
producing as much mana with Soul because he produces 2 colors.
Yeah.
And I saw it pop up in like some Alhamat list for a while.
I mean, they were just it was either like, well, I either play the thing that rests all your stones,
We play Look. Do we take a peek?
or I play the thing that burns you for a crap ton of damage.
Right.
And back in the day, it was just, yeah, we should burn you. But in these more mid-rangey style games
Mm-hmm.
that can just end,
So we're gonna
resting everything can be
cast
devastating.
Deceased from the yard.
And we're going to draw a card off, and we're going to Rachel smile. Must be a good smile. Look of Corruption isn't the worst.
I think we just. I mean, we have to float the will anyway.
Yeah,
so.
we got to float the will. It is effectively 2 burn damage.
Mm-hmm. So floating 1 darkness, 1 light, it looks like. Makes sense.
Maybe. So the only dice that are over there are these black and
Mm-hmm.
white dice. Like, there's no other, as far as I can tell. He's playing Kaguya. Oh my gosh, the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a symptom of Patrick Ogrins playing Kaguya in the book deck.
I mean, not having to tap your ruler to call stones. Is
Yeah,
pretty
we're
good.
seeing a resurgence of this card. This card has been sleeping for a while. Let me figure out which one that is, because
I know what it is.
you know which one it is. Okay,
'Cause
good.
it has flying bamboo on the bottom of it.
Yeah, this card is very fun. Double up all your will.
Kind of.
I mean, you're producing the color of the will plus
a
moon,
Yeah.
so you can play Void Cost really easy. Yeah, we're doing great. Double up your will. You don't have to tap to call stone. Look of Corruption coming in.
Take a look.
Classic art, by the way. The classic
Oh,
art.
I love the old full art.
The classic art is really, really good. Dodgy to, I'm guessing, dump a.
Just burn.
Well, you're going to be doing 5.
Yeah.
Because I think what we do here is we dump Sealed One-Eyed, deal 5. Oh, we're
No,
doing
Mechanized.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, it's just not. It's not a busy art. It's all line work. Really good color scheme. I mean, just a masterpiece.
That Belial art, like all of the Belial art from that set is so nice.
Yeah.
New Valhalla Cluster.
New Valhalla Cluster had some banging art.
Mm-hmm.
Banging art.
So we have an L56 tank in here. We can. Or 58.
Ooh.
Yeah, Gravestone, Rest Mercurius, keep that other stone tapped down. Mill 2 cards.
I think what we do here is Dodgy when she pops herself and does the draw cycle effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
She buys back a dragon,
She
right?
does. But the Mechanized Dragon's been named.
It's a good thing we have Metal Lifeform Dragon
True.
in the yard.
Discards an Invitation to Disaster.
I want to make sure that's actually correct.
No, she doesn't buy back.
No, she doesn't buy. Oh, on Rev. Excuse
Yeah.
me. On Rev, she buys back. Okay, so that play line is not real. We're down to 100.
We do have a life. Yep.
Metal life form. Oh,
Cancel
and we're going to
dodging
prevent the life
response.
gain and deal the remaining. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that's just game.
But we've learned. We got to make sure we mill a dragon. Shoutouts to Ayush. Can't gain life this turn. Now, Stephen was there when Ayush told this story, so I think he's going to say, okay, find the dragon and then we're fine. There we go. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. All
Yep.
right.
So Jeremy takes game 1. If I'm Steven, so it's so interesting, like how much Gil cannot manage the excessive aggression.
Right.
He definitely is more mid-range.
Yes, for sure.
He does not have Ashwin either.
Yeah, Steven's been milling people today to
Yeah.
mostly use the
This
win.
is a mill deck.
Yeah.
This is a burning you through resources. He doesn't get Ashwin, which is such a huge detriment.
Yeah. A lot of fair, honestly.
It's fair. The deck still feels good. Like it doesn't feel like this deck doesn't feel bad. And Steven's a great player. I mean, he was sitting at top tables all day yesterday.
I don't even know if it's a luck draw. Jeremy was in a pretty commanding position most of that game.
Yeah, I would say finding the dodgy was just like, okay, now it's super over.
Yeah, he would have found one out or another. Thinking about taking the Messiah out? Yeah, takes the Messiah out on Jeremy's side.
It's not something I feel like you need game 2.
So we're kind of pivoting from the big splashy spells.
Yeah. So we don't need invitations. We probably don't need Raging Messiahs.
I think we put some soul-eating curses in.
That's probably the right answer.
And while he put Hellfires in. Just clean
So
board wipes.
it's interesting that Mars and Merc is a aggressive deck, but it has some combo elements, right? So getting rid of the resources for the aggro deck is probably a good thing.
Right.
As far as Steven is thinking, you know, he has to respect the fact that Invitation and Messiah are still in the deck.
I think there's still a couple copies of each in the deck. Jeremy didn't sign out all of them, just a good portion of them.
Yeah, this is a meta where strangely hard cancels would actually be really solid right now, and we're just not seeing it. Like Mirror has completely moved the format in a different direction.
Right.
So you're not seeing things like Fiola, Memory of Worlds, Persephone's very often. We've seen a lot of them on stream, but Persephone hasn't been seen in a long time.
Yeah, she's really underrepresented. No Garians.
No Gyrians.
No Otherworld Dreams. We haven't seen a single
No
one.
no Otherworld Dreams. But also no number 13s.
No, yeah.
If anyone's running like a hard cancel spell, it is Sword of Progression.
Right.
But those hard cancels still exist.
Just
Viola.
Seal of Wind and Light.
Good old
Bring it back.
Bring it back. Kiki's in the chat for Seal of Wind and Light.
Unchaseable.
Unchaseable with Moon. Oh crap! That's a niche.
Yeah.
With the new Kaguya.
Yeah. Listen, I can. If I get an excuse to play Kaguya cards, I'm gonna do it.
There you go. That's pretty good. Oh, okay. I would like a Nodin deck. Fates Reunited, Attack Order, Yomad Guard.
We'll take free cards. You're just giving them away, right? All right, cool. I'll take part of the entry. Sure.
Yeah, we'll fight amongst ourselves.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, you get to choose.
No, it's always two.
Oh, it's rather.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. There you go. Which one do you want?
I take my girl. I take my girl. All right, we are saying
Party box.
party box.
Goes in the party box.
Party box.
It's a pack.
Party box. I just like my foils. Ebon Home's going to remove another one. We do have... Oh, my gosh.
Brutal.
Oh, no.
This is the right... just uppercut right
all right.
here.
It's either you uppercut these... Oh, my gosh.
Man.
2 Uranus and a Mercurius. Oh,
No,
my
and a Raging
Lance.
Messiah.
And Raging Messiah. We have a second one in hand, so that's probably okay. We have Dodgies. So we have a lot of burn right now.
Wow, those are a hell of a...
End of the turn. So something like it's so crazy to me that these are it's so crazy to me that this deck is actually kind of able to dodge uppercut very easily. I don't think Uranus has Mythic.
He does not.
He does not. You get a multiple.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's how the coin TK works. Because you have multiple of them out, and then you make multiple of the tokens. And then the tokens are a trigger.
Looks like Jeremy's saying, I'm not going to be greedy. Well, it depends.
It's Steven has to overcome this first couple of turns, and then it slowly edges back into Steven's favor.
Yeah. So it's not that Steven doesn't have tools, because we still have uppercut and we still have shamans in the main board.
Why is he not putting them face down?
Because Giotto is not tagged.
No Giotto.
There's no Giotto, guys. Giotto is the one who puts them face down.
Yeah, Gil moves them face up. Subruler?
Oh, you're saying why is he not flipping them face down?
Yeah.
With the subruler. I understand. Gotcha.
Because you can just cast them in response.
This is your regular GP public service announcement. Player communication is important, even if you're not a player playing.
I don't know. We don't know.
Oh yeah, they do. They do absolutely forget. So actually, this should be a matchup in Gil's favor. In that case, it should be.
Just attack.
Yeah, it should be in his favor.
Ooh, okay.
We're gonna last move into put the Uranus back in hand.
Seems solid.
Probably a good choice. Replay it.
By the way, the named cards with Fates Reunited is Blade Dragon and Messiah.
Sure, that makes sense. So the Messiah's kind of dead right now, unfortunately. So we can do it again. Damage is taken. Yeah, actually, the thought of Steven just not flipping Luminaries face down is literally costing him the game.
Probably.
What?
Oh, wait.
Oh, sorry.
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 I just wanted to show you.
Did you know I have this?
Yeah, naming tokens is definitely a way you can go.
There are, in fact, a lot of activate abilities in this one deck.
Yeah.
We're going to cast the Raging Messiah. Oh. I have never seen people do this. Can't be canceled, so that's relevant.
Yep. It's just a passive to double the damage.
Yeah. Seems all right. I can't use the activate ability? Fine. I'll use the continuous ability. If Steven ends up losing this, I'll ask him about whether or not... Yeah, okay, there it is.
Yeah. Oof. Oofta.
I'll ask him... He just flung it off the table.
I
So
mean,
good.
my man lost against a red deck. That's
Yeah, that's fun.
That's how you tilt this man.
It's like, oh. I'll ask him about whether or not he recognized Vessel could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very possible. Steven is not known to blunder too much,
Mm-hmm.
but every once in a while.
Joe Cullen is in the finals.
Joe Corleone is in the finals.
All right, we'll go back to us.
Going back to us.
What a match!
Whew.
I mean, I'm curious if we are missing something. 'Cause
Yeah,
that
maybe
kinda
we're
seems
missing
like a
something.
blunder.
Maybe, yeah, who knows? But I'll ask Steven, and if we get a clarification that's reasonable enough, I'll probably talk about it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean,
Yeah.
solo Gil, interesting
So,
matchup.
We'll have Joe and Jeremy as our finals.
Yeah.
So that'll be our
Absolutely.
next round here. So
Joe Corleone versus Jeremy Lindley. Going into the finals of this GP. If you guys are excited for the finals, leave us some kikis in the chat. Let us know that you're excited while we take a break here. And until the finals, we'll see you soon.
Stay frosty. So we will be getting going here soon. So this is our finals. They're competing for first.
We have Jeremy Lindley still on Mars Merc from last round, and we have Joe Quillon on
Two
Prix.
very faces the place decks up against each other.
This might be a very quick final, which I'm not complaining.
Yeah, we get to go play ABC.
We get to play other fun side events here, but we also get to go off with a bang, which is kind of entertaining.
Very American.
Very American.
Yeah.
That's why I have Merca. Mars and Merca. I forget who our person is across from Stephen Holsheiser.
Nathan.
Yeah, so it's Nathan versus Stephen Holsheiser in fighting it out for one of the top 4 placements. The blatant hit to burn answers. Stranger Jank, are you talking about Mask, or are you talking about other things? Because we also got some, like, anti-burn answers in this.
Yeah, I don't think we really had many burn answers that got hit recently.
That has not been my conclusion since the ban list.
So, like, Mass didn't stop, like, Uranus burn.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
You just win an extra turn.
I'm going to buy one of those Prissy boxes. They're still here. I want to paint one so bad.
There's a Gil Lapis mat from the ARG circuit that I'm thinking I might need the nab. Because now that Gil has, like, really changed in terms of its components and its structure, I'm kind of really interested in the deck. it's been the first like red deck in a while that I've been like, oh, okay, this is kind of
Yeah,
interesting now.
when Masterpiece 2 came out, everyone was like, "Oh, Lumia, that's the gold Uber you want." But now that I got the gold Gil, and that's like the least sought after one, but I'm like, kind of like that I have that now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, other than Mask, I'm not sure what yeah, I'm not sure what the anti-burn tech was. If anything, we got more. So yeah, I'm a little confused by that. But frankly, Jeremy's been doing a lot of swinging rather
I think
than
it was
burning.
just a good meta call.
I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Aggression in a wide meta is pretty good. Looks like our 0 player did not make it into the top.
No.
Burn can be a little bit of an issue for 0 to manage.
Yeah, she deals with the board pretty well, but doesn't matter if you're going face.
Yeah, I mean, if I look at my, if I break down the metagame, a lot of these decks are mid-range or aggro.
We love mid-range formats.
Like Hachisuka, pretty mid-rangey. 0, pretty mid-range to control.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is pretty aggro. Or it can be aggro. Ashwin Gill's pretty chill. Mars Mercurius is pretty underrepresented, which I think
But
is
it has like a good record.
It's got a good record. It's not a bad deck by any means. It's just not a very popular deck.
Mm-hmm.
So we had like a couple of those. I think we had 3 or 4
Right.
total. Within Prissy is the big aggro deck on the format.
I think she's the only like pure aggro deck.
Yeah, it was either gonna go.
She can't really pivot.
When MP2 released, I was looking at everything. It was either gonna go Lumia Lunya, or it was gonna go Prissia. And
Lululemon.
Prissia.
I think Lululemon had a spot prior to Raging Dinosaur being banned.
Yeah.
In
in Paradox.
Yeah.
Also, people just abandoned Starscale. Well, kind
I don't
of.
think that Starscale's really hitting either of these decks.
I think people are recognizing that Starscale has potential, but it just doesn't have the kind of reach that we would all hope for.
Exactly.
We saw a couple of folks from our locals,
I think there's just a lot
Kaiden
of
Bush and Tyler Tompkins. They were mainboarding Starscale in Ruchiel in Minnesota, and that didn't do quite enough.
there's a lot of situations where you have Starscale in your main board, and I think we saw this in Minnesota especially, where it was just like, yeah, I mean, it does something, but it's not like aggressively saving you the game.
Yeah. I think Starscale came back for exactly 1 GP, one very small GP, and people are like, okay, I can't really abuse non-Magic Stone type stones anymore. I
Right.
can maybe get away with Moonshade, but that's about it.
And like, yes, it does stop the burn stuff. It does, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, these kind of burn and aggro decks kind of have pivoted to more like, I'm just going to poke you a bunch of times.
Yeah, and I mean, like, speaking of, I mean, like, both of these decks have a burn and an aggro access, and you
Right.
just pivot to the other one
Yeah.
whenever you see
Because like
Starscale.
the Uranus OTK is not burn.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it makes them more predictable. Yeah, it's like, well, I'm going to be hard mulling for Starscale for sure, right? So we know what we know what you're trying to do.
right.
Would you see a Hellfire? That may be sided out. It's not a very, very solid card for Jeremy at this moment. We are getting our hairpin sub-ruler.
Ping for 3.
Yeah, that's potentially true. I think Zero probably likes Star Scale, theoretically. All right, Calling Stone with Mercurius.
Heart score.
We're going to make a Uranus.
There it is. Start the train. The Prisia does have the nice option of being in wind, so we get to play things like Fluorites, Otherworld, if we want. Yeah, Fluorite the enter seems solid. Curse the
Mirror.
Fluorite. Yep.
Yep.
We're not coin TK, but
Very aggressive use of mirror there. So we're at 15 damage if this all resolves correctly. Pretty dang good. Blade Dragon. Yeah, this is. I was talking to Joe just shortly before this, and he was like, "Yep, Uranus mechanized Blade Dragon, right?" I'm like, "Yep."
Yep.
Here we are. Oofda.
Oof.
Oofda. You can go.
All right. So how's that?
Put you in dodgy range.
This puts you in so many things range. Metal Helix, dodgy, attacking with Uranus again.
Oh yeah.
So do we go grab a Fox now? Or I mean, like, what do we even do here?
Yeah, this is kind of rough.
Is a Persephone in hand?
Well, we do know.
Callstone Pass?
So I think what Joe is potentially getting ready to do here. Yeah, here we go. Ignia. Yeah, so he's playing a lot of free will cards, is what he was talking about shortly before this. Because I'm going to bring in a stone.
Yeah, draw a card.
We're going to kill your Uranus. We're going to draw a card. Somebody old just showed up. Somebody old just showed up. He's having a good time. The attack is very brief. Flip.
I mean, tapped out Mars, just invite game.
We're not removing. Make
Virgil.
Just make Virgil.
GG.
Virgil swing game. Oh my gosh.
All right, well, that was game one.
Well, so that was game one. I remember there was an old deck back in SKL format, way at the beginning of Alice Cluster, called What Do You Do with 50 Minutes? This feels like that.
Yeah. Virgil has kind of been fine.
I mean, so consider this. Virgil won the game because Joe tapped out.
Yeah. Joe tapped out and also got clocked for 3,500 last turn.
Hey, Jeremy? Jeremy?
Game two.
Jeremy won game one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Clocked him for 35k and then swung with Virgil turn two. Yeah.
Checking things out. I think he's down at Pride. And
what does sideboarding look like for these decks? Like, actually, though.
Well, okay. So we have some. We're not playing these, but in green, there are some like battle protection,
Sure.
like wave you off kind of spells, which is really helpful. I don't think Joe's playing any of those because they don't actually contribute to the win condition. And I don't think as Prisia, you're like, well, what if I get aggroed out? I don't think that's part of your considerations. But man, I'm glad the Luminaries are actually doing well though, because I think when my initial impression was they came out, they're like, yeah, they're not gonna be that great because they weren't that great before. But like they really did give them the pieces they needed to be decks and archetypes in their own right, and they're really standing.
I remember when Tag was introduced, at my locals, I was like, 7 Luminaires need it. Like, just Mars and Mercurius, and then we didn't even want Soul to be part of it. But I think Red Deck's main deck in answer to Star Scale probably the best outcome for the meta. It means that people are adapting and the meta is not solved. I would say that the meta is incredibly far from being solved.
Yeah, I think the meta is wide, which is why aggro is doing so well.
Yeah. Prisia was the most represented deck here, tied with 0. So it kind of makes sense that, we have 2 converted.
Yeah, we had 2 Prisias, 1-0.
Gil, Lumineers.
Gil, Luminaries here. Order Kaguya, Order Shiva? Because Logan?
Yeah, but Logan didn't play his match, so. Oh, here comes the Uranus.
Evolving metas, in fact, are the best. Is this the best card game?
It's up there.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think this might be the best card
It's my
game.
favorite.
It's certainly, it is certainly my favorite card game. For this exact reason.
Been playing Magic for 25 years, but Force Will came in and was just like,
What if better?
So we didn't immediately lorite this or try to answer it with something because you can't fair spell it.
Not a good shot. Actually,
Put it back in his hand.
yeah, you can. Yeah.
That's quick cast.
That's quick cast. Well, the thing is too, like they have barrier quick cast.
They have barrier.
Yeah, they have barrier quick. So like even if you have answers, you can't target them once they're on the field. So things like your Scarlet's Agonies or your your anti-aggro stuff, your attack orders, they can't target it. So it's like these are actually really protective. These are actually really protected aggro tools. I didn't even think about that for a sec. Messiah and Blade Dragon.
Yeah, Messiah Blade Dragon. Seems like the normal ones to do. No inheritance for you.
Hoofda. Do it again. No answers. Oh my goodness. Do it again.
Ooh, bounce it to hand.
Bounce it to hand.
Expelling a mirror seems,
RFGing a mirror.
RFG a mirror seems odd. But I mean, it's the only
recast swing.
It's the only blue one you got. Just a casual 20, casual 30.
Ooh, brother. Flame Pit Trap.
Oh my god.
Just piling on the burn effects. It should be Fire Pit Trap, sorry. But you want a clock. This deck is so mean. So mean. And it has barrier, so good luck. Good luck getting rid of this. I think this exactly Uranus is like really mounting the argument for courtesans
Yeah.
being the anti-aggro tool of the format. Gets rid of Flame Pit Trap here. Gains you life.
Mm-hmm. But,
We
you
have
know,
a
we don't see Prissy dipping into white here.
Where's the Sacred Sword?
I mean. Yeah, just
That's
scoops it. Wow. Congratulations,
Ooh.
Jeremy Winley, winning FoW Fest.
Oh, my gosh. All right, what do we do with 50 minutes, Lance?
Do you want to go play ABC?
I think so. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, Jeremy. Dunzo. Yeah. You want to talk to the people before we end the stream?
We're switching out here briefly for
Hello.
the tournament organizer himself,
It's
Mr. Jeremy Franklin.
It's me. Whoa.
Papa.
Thank you all so much for being here. I just want to say a huge shout out to everybody who did a bunch of amazing work this weekend. All the staff from CCG Prime and Odyssey Games, and obviously our FoW Fest staff. Our head judge, Charlie DeMel, has been great. Patrick Ogrens, Phil Mosca, Cal Tuma, who's been rocketed over at the stream table all weekend. My commentary team, so that I could go be a TO. Pauler School, gosh, I hate that. Babatunde and Lance. It's been a true pleasure. 88 players with over 100 tickets sold for this event, so I take that as we broke 100. A bunch of people
That's
unfortunately couldn't make it. Super exciting. Really, congratulations to all three of our people walking away with invites. Joe Cullen with a paid invite, Nathan Oni with an unpaid invite, and Joe Bay with an unpaid invite. Just an awesome, a great event, some good data, a wonderful wide field, a crazy cool top 8. Really like to see this format that we will just kind of hang out with. I do believe there is a Wanderer event overseas, but the next US GP is an online GP for Paradox, which is pretty cool. I did want to say in the Paradox event, I just did witness the first ever will ability simul kill where they killed both of themselves in one by using a will ability, which was really funny. They were both at 400 life. And a Viola player had exactly 400 life in Obsidian Stone and enough to do it. And because the Viola ability is a will ability, you can pay 400 life. You have it, but the will ability resolves immediately, so you both die at the same time. So they drew game 1 in Paradox, which was hilarious. But this has been a really great event. Again, thank you all so much for watching. All of our wonderful sponsors, Inked Gaming, CCG Prime, Cardo Doko, our latest edition, Prismatic Defenders, with the cool holographic sleeves. People have been sleeving up their rulers in these cool hollow perfect fits all weekend long. It's been awesome. Really can't wait to do this again. FoW Fest 2026. We're looking at like a June 2026, halfway through June. We'll announce the dates as soon as we can. Hope to see you all there who couldn't make it. And until next time, this has been myself, DMO73, running the whole show. And I've been joined by Pauler School.
Paul Reisman.
Paul Reisman. Class dismissed, everybody. Have a great one, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.